If you could bitch smack one person with no consequences, who would it be and why? Kid who used to work at my old retail job named Michael. It's like God spilled a person into a vat of toxic waste. Eric from 4th grade, he was a dick. My stepfather. Not for the years of abuse and disrespect to me and my brother, but because of how he's treating my mum now. They were having marriage difficulties, a home renovation and other issues at the same time. So he decided to fuck off to the UK for an undetermined amount of time with 2 weeks warning. Leaving mum to run their business, handle the renovations and her own severe mental illness caused by their marital issues. He expected her to just put her head down and push through, and didn't speak her for months. Now blames her for their marital issues, for her mental illness, his mental health problems, etc. Doesn't accept any blame and won't apologize. Only gaslights, patronizes and attempts to manipulate. This woman spent 12 years raising his kids and hers, running the house, being too ike at his business, while closing her ears and eyes to his abuses to protect herself. She's not a saint, but FFS she doesn't deserve this. Thankfully, she's divorcing him. Whoever stole my pressure washer. I've been wanting a good one for years. I finally bought a decent model, and it was stolen before I even got to use it on my own stuff. Edit. Wow. This blew up. Thanks to everyone who gave me awards. I was just venting and wasn't expecting the outpouring of goodwill. For those asking about pressure washers, I'm no expert. If you have small jobs like washing your car and other small projects, I'd suggest an electric version. A turbo nozzle makes them a lot nicer to use. Project Farm has a good video testing several of the more popular models. https://yao2 b/k5cmjvmlvv4. If you want to clean your driveway often, or anything remotely resembling r/pressure washing porn, you really need a gas version. Pay more attention to the gallons per minute than the maximum pressure. 2 GPM is probably the lowest I'd go. 3+ is better. I'm sure the pressure washer experts will probably be here to correct me soon. My fucking creepy boss who's always up my ass and fucking waits outside the bathroom when I go. My 15-year-old self. Less drugs boy. My old high school band director. Has a 5-year-old son. Has a wife who is pregnant with twins. Proceeds to cheat on said wife with a good friend of mine who was on the drum line. Mom. Divorces wife and moves in with friend's mom. Gets fired from the school and to this day, 4 years later, lives with my friend's mom and doesn't allow him to come back home. Everyone I know hates that slimy slug. He's 10 years younger than the mom. A fat arrogant loser who I'm plotting on popping his tires someday. That guy who increased insulin costs to $700 a month rates. I'm not even diabetic. He's just the biggest scumball I could think of that hadn't seen commented yet. Edit. For you all mentioning our current and last president. This happened before either of them. Jake Paul. My Mill. She's annoying as hell. She grew up with people blowing hot air up her ass and has never been told she's airheaded and extremely judgmental. My ex-husband and his most recent ex-wife. Yes, I know that's two, but they go together. I wanted the divorce, which ultimately led to them getting together. I post 0 threats. Yet, she still treated my kid 5-year-old son like shit. She wrote him horrible emails and said she was glad he didn't come over anymore because he was such a brat, nobody wanted him there anyway. They also stood him up on Thanksgiving as soon as she gave birth to their son, within a year, because she wanted it to be just family. She got a job at the bank I use and accessed my accounts without authorization. She was fired. It was still my fault. Then she got a job next door to where I worked. It was all super bizarre. Ex hasn't seen my son since he was 10 and has now 25. They divorced years ago. She remarried, had 2 more kids, and then became addicted to drugs. Lost all 3 of the kids, including my ex's son. He didn't take him either. I would absolutely be delighted to punch them both directly in the face. Eater. My son was 10 when he got the email. He was 5 when we divorced, and ex started seeing the now ex stepmother. Either one of the people who lied under oath when we sued my kid's school district, or the judge who believed them because her mom was a teacher and they tell the truth. Edit. Thanks for the hugs awards. I love those things. I'm not going to say what we sued for. Don't want quite that much identifying info out in the world. I will say that the lies in question were about things teachers and administrators said in meetings my husband and I attended. But we had no proof. We were incredibly naive and had no concept of how easily people will perjure themselves when their boss is in the room and their job is on the line. Also, school districts have plenty of money for lawyer fees and insurance to pay settlements. So ultimate nothing changes. We persisted in hopes of instituting change and lost. Another family settled before going to court, and I don't blame them a bit. My old boss. Louis D. Joy. My ex-husband. One solid slap across the face, knowing that this time I won't be the one getting hit. I'm sold. Edit. I was not expecting any sort of response to this, let alone such a big one. So, I'll let y'all know it's been 4 years since I left him. I'm much happier and safer, and am with someone who would never dream of hurting me. Thank you. Probably Mike Tyson, just so I can say that I slapped him with no consequences. Lol. Chris Brown. Just wondering if he can swing it with it, man. This dick I know named John. If you're reading this, John, fuck you. Edit. Sorry to all the Johns I have offended, but to be fair, that's what you get for being named John. Just one person? So many bitches. So few slaps. Past me. He has done some pretty cringe shit.